3.
A year ago, Elsie and I felt lucky to be part of 2 groups to meet with Drs. Woodcock, Marks, Dunn, and other FDA officials. Our assumption was that this must be something they wouldn't waste our time or theirs, but that was incorrect. A year later, the only change is that my wife, whose progression represents that of 30,000 plus ALS patients, can no longer walk, talk, or move her arms. We are no closer to access to NurOwn. It has been in trial for over 10 years. Safe, proven efficacy, biomarkers. FDA has acted before with terminal diseases that have no effective treatments. And the precedent they have cited is that the potential benefits outweigh the risks. The potential benefits outweigh the risks. If my wife and others had been granted access to NurOwn a year ago, imagine what our lives would look like. Imagine the advancements in other neurological disease research. Brian Wallach wrote a response to mark the year anniversary address to Congress. Elsie and I greatly respect Brian, but Elsie respectfully disagrees with that response, and she wrote this response. Madam Chairwoman DeLaro, Ranking Member Cole, members of the committee. This past week has proven what we suspected all along. When faced with adversity, there is no greater country that prioritizes the health and welfare of its citizens better than the USA. With patients dying daily from this disease with no known cure, there is great comfort knowing, in tandem with FDA, you are doing everything you can to make us better. No, I'm not talking about COVID-19. I'm talking about ALS. Hundreds have died this year. Thousands have died in the last year. 1 year since Brian Wallach, representing the ALS community, presented our pleas for help to Congress. And tens of thousands have died since NurOwn has been stuck in phase 3. When I say this past week has proven what we suspected all along, I mean I knew the great minds collectively at FDA and in our government absolutely have the ability, power, and knowledge to help. They are choosing not to. People with ALS suffer unthinkable deaths. It is 100% fatal. We lose our jobs and live in isolation. Madam Chairwoman, you told Mr. Wallach, we will work with you. We want you to see your daughters graduate from kindergarten and beyond. And I promise you that we will fight for your survival and for the survival of the millions of others who find themselves in the same situation. Science and research have the power to unlock discoveries for cures. We can't guarantee it, we can't put a time frame on it, but what we can do is make a very, very serious investment, making sure that we can unlock the mysteries of ALS. And your answer has been, the ALS research program has increased funding from 10 to 20 million and created urgency at the National Institutes of Health to coordinate and report publicly on its ALS research priorities. If you were drowning and someone offered that as a solution, would you think they were seriously doing all that they could? 100% fatal, 0 treatments, deaths daily. ALS is a truly dire situation. There is no reason the same sense of urgency and flexibility that has been applied to COVID-19 cannot be applied to ALS. There are no guarantees, but by doing nothing, it is guaranteed. I am dead, Brian is dead, 30,000 plus are dead. It is important to me that you do not receive accolades for posturing. You all need to understand anything short of getting treatments into us is inhumane. Please find a way to get NurOwn, CU, ATSM, or copper, and TREGs to us now. Doing so could stimulate ALS therapeutic development. The current pathways create a foreboding atmosphere for such. Desperately, Elsie W. Johnson.